we are going to look at the after trigger. So we say create trigger app underscore trig on the table called employees, right? So here we go after insert, right? You bring your ass, begin, select star from employees. Now, this is what this trigger is going to do. Whenever we are able to perform an insert, after the record insertion is done, it should display all the records for us to see if we've been able to insert a new record. That's the meaning of the after insert. So after you perform an action, it should call up something. Something should follow. That's the meaning. So here we will just highlight this and then we will execute. So trigger created. Now let's insert a record. So we go insert into employees values, then we open parenthesis, then the ID number 5, then we go first, the person, sorry, the person's first name. So Nana Edu. Then the next column is, let me execute this select star so that we get the columns in the employees table. So first and last name, then the salary, then the date of birth, so 1991, 11, 12, then the department, let's give the person 20. So after we insert the record, it should display, because that's what we instructed the system to do. So you see, after inserting the record, immediately a new record is added. We could see the results here, right? That is the after trigger. So if we try to, I had wanted us to work on the before trigger, but unless we use something different, because it's not working here. So let's continue. So let's go drop trigger, then the name of the trigger is app underscore trig, then we highlight, then we execute F5, and then it's gone. Now once we are through with the triggers, let's look at sequence. Now when we say sequence is automatic generation of unique numbers, right? That's the meaning of sequence, automatic generation of unique numbers. So for example, if you want, let's say you have a table and then the records that you're going to insert, you want the system to display, or you want the system to generate ID numbers for you automatically, then you need to use the sequence. So we are going to create a sequence to generate numbers, right? Numbers from, let's say, 1, starting from 1 to infinity. That's what we are going to do. So we will create sequence, and the name of the sequence is sec. We bring int, so create sequence. We have to bring as the data type good. So starts, every sequence should have a starting value. So start with 1, minimum value of 1, then increment by 1. That means it should increase in ones. Then it should be unlimited, right? So if it should be unlimited, there has to be no max value. That is unlimited. And then we have no cycle, because if it is unlimited, that means when we say cycle means, let's say, when it gets to a limit, it should start all over again, right? But we are making it unlimited. So unlimited means that there wouldn't be any cycle. So let's quickly highlight and then execute and see. So we have completed successfully. Then the next one, we are going to create a table that we are going to apply the sequence to. So the table, create table is called product. And the table have only ID and then name. Sorry, so ID, int, and then not now. And then we have name, varchar 15. Then we highlight, then we execute. So once this is done, now let me start inserting the record. So I'll go insert into products, values, then I'll open parenthesis, then I'll go next value for, then this the name of the sequence is sec, then the product name Milu, like this. So I open parenthesis, next value for sec. So the sec simply means, next value for sec, it simply means you are calling the sequence, right? So instead of that side providing an ID number, you are going to use the sequence to do it. So the next item, this is going to be sugar. You open parenthesis, you go next value for sec, then you go bread, you go next value for sec again, then the name of the product is going to be, let's see, ginger, then you close the parenthesis. So you highlight this, then you execute. So we have 4 rows affected. So we will select star from product, and then look, the sequence has generated the IDs for us. So that is the use of the sequence. So after this is done, now the next thing that we are going to do here is that let's look at how to alter a sequence, right? So let's see the rate at which the sequence is increasing, right? We want to change it. So you see it is increasing in ones. So we want to change from 1 to, let's say, 2. So you go, you type alter sequence, then the name of the sequence is sec, you bring your as, then what you want to change in the sequence, that's what you bring, right? So we want to change the increment. So increment by let's say increment by 2, like this, right? So increment by 2. I think I need to bring something. Something is not right here. Good. So increment by 2, and then initially we use no max value, but this time around we are going to attach a maximum value. So maximum value of 15. That means when it gets to 15, or yeah, when it gets to 14, it should stop. And when it stops, it should start again. So we've attached cycle. Now let's highlight and then execute this. And then okay, let's remove this. Let me see. Good. So let's highlight and then I execute, because the as and then the int has been introduced when we're creating, so we don't have to do it again. So we've altered the sequence. So right now the increment was 1 initially, but now we've changed it to 2, and then the maximum value is now 40. Initially the maximum value was no max value, and then we had cycle, but we had no cycle, but right now we've made a cycle. So we are going to call the sequence. So with this sequence that we are going to call, it wouldn't be in the table. So calling a sequence. So let's go select next value for the name of the sequence, which is sec, right? That is if you just want to call the sequence and see how it works. So I'll hit F5, then you see the last number was 4, so it has increased from, it has added 2 to the 4. So I'll go again. So 8, execute again, 10, execute again, 12, execute again, 14, execute again. Then it will go back to 1 again, because we said cycle. So it will be increasing in 2. So 3, then you go in that order. That is when you keep executing it, right? So if you want to get rid of the sequence, so deleting the sequence, you just go drop sequence, then the name of the sequence is sec, like this. So you highlight, then I execute, and then the sequence is no more.